Okay. So as I said, in this indecision candle, many institutional orders, high volume, which means this is a strong supply area. Okay. This is also a way to make the area fresher and stronger. Okay. And you can see the perfect rejection. Okay. And most likely when price came back to the area, you can see price was building up on volume. Okay, as we are in the 1 hour time frame, we can't see that clear. Okay, if we went to the 5 minute, 15 minute time frame, as you can see, as price was reaching the supply area, it was building up on volume. Okay, which again tells us institutions are placing orders. There's a high interest in this area, and this will most likely be a strong supply area. Okay, do you get this? Okay, now let me show you how you can snipe your entries, okay, on this supply and demand areas. This is a very good example which happened yesterday in GBP USD, which I didn't take, okay, because price already tested the zone multiple times, so I didn't consider it fresh. So I didn't take this sell, but look, let me show you how you can snipe your entries, okay? And most of my sniper entries are done like this, okay? Who controls the consolidation areas? This is a mix of everything, okay? Just think that, let's say maybe 99% of trades that happen every second are done by robots, okay? So, and most of institutions trade with robots, okay? Almost everything is controlled by robots now. So most likely yes, but these robots are being controlled by institutions, okay? At the end of the day, institutions are doing what they want with the price, okay? They also win, they also lose, but when they want to do something, they can do it, and they most likely will do it, okay? And we have to understand how they work, understand some tools that can help us read what they are doing, and from there, base our trading upon the institutional decisions, okay? So let's look at this example of how to snipe entries based off supply and demand areas, okay? So you can see price did a wonderful supply zone on the 2 hour time frame. Here, right here, wonderful supply zone. Price rejected this supply zone, it tested it, it did a pullback, and then it went down, okay? This would be the first sell and the ideal sell, okay? And then you would look to target or this demand zone right here, or maybe the last low, okay? Which in this case, it also got filled, okay? Then price came back up here, and as somebody asked me, is it a good idea to sell GBP USD? And I said, in my opinion, it's not a good idea. Why? Who knows why? Here, in my opinion, it wouldn't be a good idea to sell GBP USD, even though it later on went down. Can anyone tell why here I don't think it's a good idea to sell GBP USD? Even though if it's in a supply zone. The area has already been tested, second test, exactly. That's exactly, okay? But in this case, price did a wonderful move to the downside, okay? Which is completely fine, guys. You will never be 100% right, okay? On anything trading, okay? It's always uncertain. Because it smells like fish, exactly. It smells like fish. It's not fresh anymore, okay? Even though we did the nice move, as it was already respected once, then we don't like the zone. And as you see now, right, now price is breaking out, okay? Yesterday when price was coming up here, I thought it was going to do this, but it finally respected, and right now the third test to the zone is something very, very unlikely, okay? So as you can see, it's breaking out. But then when price was here, how could have we identified a trade, okay? How could have we known if price would have respected or gone up? So look, this is a pattern I really like to look for on these areas, okay? When price reaches, okay, guys, now I'm in the 5-minute time frame, okay? So hold on, let me. Okay, so price has reached this area. How do I know if it's, or when do I know if it's a good idea to buy, sell, or what to do, okay? Or how can I snipe an entry when price is here, okay? So let's look at a formation, a setup I love, okay? This setup is a setup I really love, okay? So that easy. When price reaches to the area, if it's a good supply or demand area, now I'm in the 5-minute time frame, okay? You will see price will do a range, okay? It will consolidate into a range, okay? This is 90% of times when price reaches a supply or demand area, it consolidates into forming a range. As you can see here, it did a super long range, okay? But if you look closely, when price reaches our supply or demand area, it usually consolidates, okay? So let's go back to this example. In this case, now I'm tracing a smaller range, but it's completely fine, valid as well. So what am I going to look for? Okay, price has broke down this range, which means there might be a change of trend, okay? This for me is sort of a setup for a change of trend. Then what am I going to wait for to enter a trade here? What do I like? What is the setup I most like? I get the highest point and the lowest point, and I draw a Fibonacci, okay? When price has broke this range, I get the highest point and the lowest point, in this case, because it's a supply zone, and I trace my Fibonacci to the downside, and I will enter at this point right here, okay? At the 0.76 of Fibonacci, and then you can place your stop loss maybe above the last high, and you can target the next demand zone, okay? And this will be, let's see if it got executed. You see, it broke down this range. Oops, sorry. It broke down the range to the downside, okay, on the supplier zone, which means we are most likely changing the trend direction. So I trace my Fibonacci and I wait for price at the 0.76, okay? And you see that from there, it goes down. Well, I'm not sure, but most likely. Okay, this is a pattern I really like, okay? This is a pattern I really like to see. And most likely, if we go back here, okay, to the first rejection it did, price broke out this range. If we grab our Fibonacci, where is it now? If we grab our Fibonacci, we grab the highest point, which is this one right here, to the low, boom, then we trace our, as you see, the range, price broke it to the downside. Then we place our sell limit in the Fibonacci, okay, we might place our stop loss above the last high. And then we just target the next demand zone, the next supply zone, whatever, okay? Do you get how I snipe my entries, guys? Do you see this? This setup. Right now, what I've shown you guys is gold, okay? Is diamonds, what I've shown you. That is it. Okay, nice. Okay, do you get it, guys? How I look to snipe entries? really take notes on all of this, because this right now, well, this I think was what changed my changing results. Okay, completely. We'll rewatch video. Yes, of course, guys, you have to watch, rewatch. Fibonacci, which level? The point 76, okay? Okay, guys, this is all for today. I wanted to finish this way, okay? Now we will have some minutes to answer questions, so ask any question you want to about anything of the class. Thank you guys for joining. Really, I really appreciate each one of you. I hope we all get extremely profitable and successful in trading, and we can build our trading floor. I have many plans, guys. I have many plans. You will see. Little by little, you will see. Yo, Karabo Mogotsi, ask your question. You can ask your questions through the chat, please. Ask questions through the chat, please, because otherwise I hear the echo and it's a mess for everyone. Why is Forex not a day-to-day job for everyone? Because it requires time, it requires effort, you have to master it. Just think about it, guys. It's like a doctor doesn't become a doctor the first month he starts practicing. It takes maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years for a person from zero knowledge to becoming a doctor. You have to treat trading the same. It's not an easy thing. You can make loads of money, but making loads of money has never been easy in this life. It will not be something you will do in a matter of a year, okay? Something you have to work hard, be consistent, never quit, and you will achieve your goals, okay? It's way less effort and time than a real job. It depends, Victor. Yes, if you do it very good, yes, of course, that's the idea. But it will require time at the beginning. Of course, for me, I only have to work 2 hours a day if I want to. Trading and doing the live, and that's it. That's it. It's really. Shalom, Alex. Shalom, Karamo. Welcome. Can you analyze one goal? Is that now? I'm going right now. The Fibonacci is the fourth apart from yellow colors. Look, guys, hold on. I'm going to send right now this is the configuration for the Fibonacci. So screenshot it if you want to. Okay, this is the main area. These are also some targets, but don't really have them into consideration right now. Okay, do you have it? Yes. Okay. Okay, so let's look at gold right now, okay? Again, look, guys, gold is doing the pattern we just looked at, okay? Supply zone, price has formed sort of a range here, okay? It's a bit choppy, but it has sort of formed a range right there. It has broke it down to the downside, and now it's rejecting the Fibonacci. Okay, so this would ideally be an ideal sell for us. But as you can see, price has tested this Fibonacci 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it's not that fresh anymore. But still, I don't dislike a sell from this area to this area, okay? I won't be taking it. Well, I think I have a trade open, if I'm not mistaken, the one we took earlier on the live. And the sell limit we took at this price. And that will be it for today. So this is gold right now, okay, guys, sorry. So as you can see, wait, should I delete everything and do an analysis from scratch? Okay, so let's analyze gold. Wait, does the lower time frame retest count as? No, Victor, no. No. It doesn't count. Okay, just look, if you are looking at a supply zone on the 1 or look, in this case on the 2-hour time frame, if I'm looking at a supply zone on the 2-hour time frame, okay, then I want to look at the rejections on the 2-hour time frame, okay? Not on the 5 minutes, because on the 5 minute, look, price has retested many times, okay? And this is, it's looking like a good rejection. But you want to focus, this is also something very important, okay? Listen up. If you are, for example, if I determine this is a supply zone on the 2-hour time frame, okay? Then my objective for my take profit must be as well on the 2-hour time frame. For example, it could be this demand zone right here, okay? This would be, so you have to like really take this into consideration. If I find a supply zone on the 5-minute time frame, for example, I don't know, let's see if I can find a clear example. Well, if I find a supply zone on the 5-minute time frame, okay, for example, I don't know, let's see if I can find an example. Like I see many, but not to explain what I want to explain. Well, if I see a supply zone on the 5-minute time frame, I am not going to trade an objective on the 2-hour time frame. You get what I say, guys? I'm not sure if this was very clear. Like it is good if you see a 2-hour supply zone, okay? Then you wait for price to reach the 2-hour supply zone. Then you look into the 5-minute to look for a supply zone inside the supply zone. This is completely fine, okay? But what you can't do is, for example, here we are on the 5-minute time frame. I see a demand zone right here, okay? Then as it's a 5-minute demand zone, I am going to buy here, and then I'm going to go to the 4-hour time frame, okay? And I'm going to say I want price to reach up here, so I will place my target right up here, okay? No, okay, this will never work for you, and this will make you enter the stop loss here, okay? That we call. Guys, gold is looking frankly good. Did you get me? How do you know when to exit trade? Okay, how do I determine my targets? Well, I look at many things, okay? Firstly, if we are in a bearish trend, I will allow for longer targets, okay? Much longer targets, because I know price can break demand zones, that break, and it will allow me for a longer look, for example. So if look, let me do a replay. This is how I would plan my trading, okay? So price is up here. Let's say we are in a bearish trend. It's not the case, but let's just say we are in a bearish trend. Then how am I going to do this? Okay, I will mark the supply and demand areas, okay, on the way. Okay, then I know price is in a bearish trend, let's say because it broke this trend line, and I have more confirmations that we are in a bearish trend, okay? So how am I going to look for my targets? Well, I'm going, if I'm in the 30-minute time frame, I will look for 30-minute supply zones. For example, this one right here. And I will target my 30-minute demand zones, okay? then how would this look trading in? For example, let's see if we get, or here we have another one, sorry. So here we have one or the one above, okay? So as I said before, being conservative, which zone would you trade from here, guys? What zone would you trade right here? Which zone would you trade? The top one, exactly. Me too. Being conservative, I would also trade the top one. But if we know price is in a strong bearish trend, okay, you might also want to try this area. And if this area doesn't get met, then this area, okay? Let's see if price respected one or the other. Come on. Okay, price did not respect any zone, so we wouldn't get any trade. So let's say, well, let's say we entered on this supply zone right here, okay? This is not a clear supply zone for me, but apparently it acted as one. So let's say we enter in this supply zone right here. How would I measure my target? As you know, I'm trading. Sorry. So it's my internet is gone. You know, my internet is slowing down again. Okay, so as I said, I was trading from supply and demand zones on the 30-minute time frame. So my way to determine my target will be, if I'm trading from a supply zone and the 30-minute time frame, my target will be the 30-minute demand zone, okay? And I can be trading, entering on this supply zone. For example, I could enter in this supply zone, this supply zone, this supply zone, until it reaches this demand zone. If I want to enter a buy in this demand zone, I know I'm going against the trend, so my target will be much more, let's say, much tighter, okay? Much tighter, okay? If I'm going against the trend, I will maybe look for targets, maybe in the smaller time frames. Maybe this will be my target. Well, right now, I really don't recommend any of you trading against the trend, so you should forget about this. But if you're ever trading against the trend, make sure to trim off your profits very fast or secure your trade, okay? Okay, and this will be a safe target. Sorry, my internet is slowing down. I'm not sure what's wrong. Hello, can you hear me well, guys? I'm not sure what's up with my internet. Okay, maybe look, maybe even price reached the zone. But then again, here, a fresh supply zone. We will see if price respects it. Price almost reached the zone and then it kept on going. Then again, as you see, demand zone, it has already been tested. So this demand zone is not fresh, okay? What could be my trade? From this demand zone to this supply zone, okay? Boom. And then again, short position from this supply zone to this demand zone. But in this case, as I know, this demand zone has already been tested, so it's not fresh. I would close maybe 70% of my position here, and I would leave the remaining until the next demand zone, okay? And let's see. well, now, as we have commented, demand becomes supply. Okay, here we would have got a great trade until this demand zone right here, okay? As you can see. Okay, now you may wonder, why wouldn't you get this demand zone right here, this one right here? Because if you see, it has already been tested, okay? So it's not fresh. So I'm going on to this one. Okay. Now price respected. The supply becomes resistant, the demand becomes supply. And it breaks out. And again, if you were to enter here a buy, you should take very little targets and secure your trade very fast because it's against the trend. But don't trade against the trend, okay, for the moment. You can't hear, oh, sorry. Sound like a robot. Okay, sorry, guys, sorry. Can you hear me well now? Okay, so it's simple, targets. Between the supply and demand zones. Okay, so if you are trading from a demand zone, target the nearest supply zone. If you're trading from a supply zone, target the nearest demand zone. Then another way I like to look at my targets is, for example, if I entered somewhere there in a sell, okay, I would also like to look for this target, okay, from my Fibonacci, this level in the Fibonacci, okay, the 1840s, okay. This is also a level which you will see price. I don't know why I lost this level because it was a great level. I know we did buy here, we did buy. Okay, so this could be another target, my 0.76 of Fibonacci. If I enter a sell here, I get this impulse, okay? And I target this level of the Fibonacci, okay? Always making sure that my risk to reward ratio allows me to do so, okay? Okay, so Fibonacci as well. Then if you are really stretching a trade, Fibonacci is with 2 Bs, right? Fibonacci, right? Or is it with 1 B or 2 Bs? Now I forgot. Now I forgot. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay. If not, the other levels you saw from my Fibonacci, if I'm entering a continuation in a trend, these levels are also targets, okay? If I enter a buy at this level, my target could be minus 27% or minus 61%, okay? For example, let's look at the GBP USD example we looked at before. Okay, the sell right here, as you can see, we entered at the 0.76 of Fibonacci, and one target was the minus 27%, and the next target, the minus 61%. And as you can see, as soon as price reached this target, it started consolidating for a while, okay? Okay, so this is another way for Fibonacci, well, to look at targets, to identify targets. Okay, guys, so I think this is, well, I think this will be it for today. Okay, I hope to see you next Tuesday on the live lesson. And tomorrow we will be back on TikTok doing TikTok live, like always. And I hope all of you have a great week and a very profitable month, week, day, whatever. Keep on working hard, guys, because dreams come true, and with hard work, you will achieve everything you want. Hello? Hello? Guys, I'm just saying goodbye. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. I hope to see you all Tuesday on the TikTok live. Next Tuesday on the live lesson, and tomorrow on the TikTok live. Keep on working hard, guys, because you will achieve all of your goals. See you next week, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.